What's going on, everybody? Welcome on back to another episode of Nick Reviews Everything. As you can see, I'm in my kitchen. Usually I'm sitting down. If you saw the thumbnail, today's video is about the Bodum, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but French press coffee maker. Now, I've been using a French press coffee maker for the better part of like 15 years now. I did stray away from it for a little bit and attempted to try a Keurig coffee maker. That didn't end well. So I went back to the French press. So, what this video is going to be is a little overview of it. It's going to be how you use it and the benefits of using the French press. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but that's Dallas panting. She just got back from a long walk, so she's a little hot. So yeah, I don't know if you hear that or not. Anyway, I digress. It might be in the background of the video, so that's what that noise is. Anyway, let's set the camera down and we're going to walk you through this thing. Okay, this is the Bodum French press coffee maker. And as you can see, it's a very simple contraption. No electricity, no throwaway parts, nothing. It's very simple. You put your ground coffee in here. You put hot boiling water inside. Fill it up to your desired level. Let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes. You put this in the top, and on the bottom, as you can see, there is a strainer screen. And as you push down on this, it will strain the coffee. It pushes the grounds to the bottom, and the water comes through, and you end up with a perfect cup of coffee. This stuff, this thing makes great coffee. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how I make mine. Now, what you will probably need to get is a coffee grinder, because I buy whole bean coffee. And grinding it the night before with a simple coffee grinder gives me a fresher batch of coffee than if I had just bought pre-ground coffee. And not only that, with a French press, the coarser the coffee grounds, the better. So you buy the coffee grinder and you can adjust the settings on there to make it coarse. And you want it coarse because the strainer that I showed you is almost like basically it's a screen. And if you have real fine grounds of coffee, they may go through the screen and you'll end up with grounds in your coffee. So if you buy pre-ground coffee, you're kind of at the mercy of how they grind it. And for the most part, it's usually pretty fine. So I'm not saying you can't use pre-ground coffee. It's just better not to. And it also tastes better when you grind it yourself, because the whole beans stay fresher longer, obviously, until you grind them up. So I got my thing of coffee, and I will say this, finding whole bean coffee in a wide variety of flavors is a little hard to do. You may have to go to an independent shop that carries a certain line of coffee, for instance. I don't like flavored coffee. I just like plain old whatever, French roast, espresso, Colombian, just normal, regular coffee. So it's not a big deal trying to find it. So yeah, I usually end up buying a bigger bag of this stuff. I like it. So let me put this in here, and we will grind this up and plug this in. Now, I'm not saying go out and get this coffee grinder, but as you can see, there's a little thing on here, which you probably can't read, but it's, there's coarse, fine, and medium. So we want to set it to coarse. And I just dump them in. I already know how much I want. A little bit in there. Put the top on. And yes, a coffee grinder does make a mess. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see. Anywho, let's commence loud noises. This is going to be loud. Okay, now that that's done, we got our freshly ground coffee. Pour it into the bottom of the coffee press. And for me, I basically drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning. That's why I strayed and I bought a Keurig. Because I figured, you know, 1 little K-cup, 1 each morning, good to go. That's pretty awful coffee. And not only that, you're throwing out all these little plastic cups every day. And it's like, you know, what a waste. Even if you have a regular drip coffee maker, you have the filters. You got to buy filters and throw them out. And there's all this, I don't know, it just seems like waste to me. Whereas this is super simple. All that you're throwing out is the coffee grounds afterwards. Everything else you just wash. But anyway, as you can see, got the coffee grounds in here. Now I'm going to fill this with water. Now, this is the second Bodum coffee press that I've bought. The first one I had actually had like cup levels on the side. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cups. This one doesn't. So you'll have to figure out, you know, which level you want it at, depending on how big of the cup of coffee you have. And you can make multiple cups with this, but you'll figure out the level, and then you'll be able to eyeball it every day. The other good thing about using this, any French press, not necessarily this one, is you control the strength of the coffee. You could put a lot of grounds in and a little bit of water for strong coffee. You can put a little bit of grounds in with a lot of water for weak coffee. You control it. Not necessarily throwing in, you know, grounds in your coffee maker, your drip coffee maker, and it just kind of spits it through. Or the Keurig, you're kind of stuck with whatever's in that little pod, and that's it. So let me fill this with water. Now I have a hot water dispenser, which does come in handy, but you can also use just a tea kettle. Set it up in the morning, turn it on. You're good to go in a few minutes. I'll be right back after I get some hot water in this. There we go. We now have hot water in there. And as you can see, I filled it up. I've eyeballed it. I know by where those words are. If I fill to that mark, that fits my cup perfectly. My cup's kind of big. But anyway, you're supposed to stir the coffee inside and then let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes. What I do to get around stirring it is, as I'm pouring the water in, I don't pour it right in the center. I kind of pour it in a circular motion to kind of get all of the grounds. So I've never found that I've had to stir it at all. So you put the top on and you wait 3 to 5 minutes. So let's give it that amount of time and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. It's now time to strain the coffee, which is actually very simple. Just press this down and watch. See how it starts to go. You see it, and then just push it down, give it a little bit of pressure. Right now it's filtering out the grounds, pushes those to the bottom, and you're left with a fresh cup of coffee on the top. So we will pour it into my cup like so. Oh yes. And you can put your cream or sugar or whatever else you want in there. And you're good to go. See? Boom. So, while that cools before I can take a sip, I want to show you how I clean this. Over to my sink. Yes. You got this. So you have this piece, strainer piece. We have the coffee grounds, which I know you're not supposed to, but I always put them in my garbage disposal. Oops. So you're left with one glass thing to clean. And this guy, this strainer, just like that. So it actually comes apart and unscrews. Just like this, actually. See? That's it. Screws off, you end up with this piece, the strainer, and the metal piece. And you're good to go. You can wash it. And for the most part, in fact, it's dishwasher safe. At least this one is. Not necessarily all French press are dishwasher safe, but this one is. I have a cup of coffee every morning, so I just wash it. But yeah, that's it. So, let's take a sip of the fresh cup of coffee. Telling you, nothing beats that. You like my Christmas mug? Man. If you've never had a French press, I'm telling you right now, you don't know what you're missing. You definitely got to try one. Shut this light off. It's very bright. But yeah, like I'm saying, with the French press, you control the coffee. You control the strength. You control the amount of coffee you want. There's no waste. If you want another cup of coffee, you just whip up another batch. You don't have to have a coffee maker running all day or worrying about, is the coffee getting burned? You know, do I have to make more coffee? This is good to go. You can fill this thing up and get 3 or 4 cups out of it. They also sell different sizes. They sell little ones, bigger ones. They're great. I just love how you control the coffee with it. And having that control gives you the ability to have that real dark cup of coffee if you really want it. Or maybe it's just like a hint of coffee and everybody makes theirs too dark. That's what this does. And yeah, the Keurig's there and it's great in terms of ease, but there's the waste. There's all the little plastic cups you're either throwing out or you're rinsing out and putting in the recycling bin. And let's face it, they're not cheap. I mean, that bag of coffee I had cost like $15. It lasts me, I have a cup of coffee a day. It lasts me, I don't know, 6 weeks. When I was buying K-Cups, it was insane. It was too expensive. And I was buying just store brand to get through with those things. So, yeah, going back to this, I'm telling you, you got to try these out. Try a French press. I swear you're not going to go back if you get one. But anyway, guys, like I always say, if you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I've been using a French press for like 15 years, so any questions at all, let me know. If you like what you saw today, feel free to leave a comment. Share the video. I'd love that. Or better yet, subscribe to the channel. Like I always say, nothing here is sponsored. These are all my own opinions on just things that I use in my everyday life that I figure maybe I should share with you. Anyway, well, I don't know. Do you want to go see Dallas? There's nothing for her to eat in this video, but probably should go say hi. She's probably still resting from her walk. Oh yeah, see? Yep. Told you. She's resting. Oh, Dallas. Oh, Dallas. Oh. Do you see this mark on her nose? That's because I have her on a gentle leader. And she still pulls and pulls and pulls during a walk. So, by all means, separate from the video, if you have any suggestions on how to get the dog to stop pulling, boy, I would love to know. I've tried harnesses. I've tried pinch collars. The gentle lead is the best thing that I've had. But man, look at what she does. She just pulls and pulls. I don't know. What a goofball. What a goober. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah. Catch you on the next episode, all right? Take care. Peace.